Leeds, you're getting ready now for your next game, of course, at the weekend against Wimbledon. Can you bring us right up to date with how things are? Unfortunately, it's a regular question in the treatment room.
Yeah, well, it's good news for Courtney. We expected him to need an operation and be missing for 3 months. It's 3 to 4 weeks. Because like he said to me, he's a physical beast. So, no, that's really pleasing news. So, you know, we're doing all the strengthening work on that, and we'll see where he's at in a couple of weeks. So we're really pleased with that. Joel Taberner, there's going to be another 3 weeks, we feel, 3 to 4 weeks. Something totally unrelated to the previous injury. So obviously that's a blow not having Joel around. But we'll try and get him ready for the running towards the back end of the season now. Mattis will be out next week running and rejoin the group. So again, that's a positive on that front. Because I think he's been playing well when he's been in the team. It looks like he's beginning to really establish himself as a first team player, which is really pleasing to see. But the key is to try and keep him as fit as possible and use him more wisely. Owen Lunt is out doing some running now, but his general fitness will mean he'll probably miss a few more weeks. We're unlikely to see Owen, which again is a blow. Jack Powell is just cracking on with his rehab work. He's obviously still a long road ahead for Jack, but we're trying to involve him coming to games, etc., being in the dressing room, because he's obviously a really calming influence throughout the group. Real good footballing brain. Luke Offord, spoke to him yesterday. He's in a boot. He'll be out of his boot in a couple of weeks, and then 3-4 weeks down the line from that, hopefully start upping his rehab. Hopefully do some running, but again, it'd be unlikely we see Luke Offord.
You mentioned at the beginning on Courtney Baker-Richardson being good news. Just one, I know you've had a long list there. Chris Long,
yeah,
I've seen him out, getting out with Kenny Lunt early. How's he?
Yeah, we're hopeful for next weekend with Longy. He's ticking off all the boxes that he needs to. We're mindful he's obviously had a reoccurrence of the injury he picked up at Harrogate. All the protocols we feel have been fine in terms of trying to bring him back, but we'll be mindful not to rush it. If we get the go-ahead for this weekend, then great, but we'll speak to Longy this afternoon and see where he's at. But again, positive news, it'll more likely be next weekend, but also could be this weekend.
Well, your attentions have been firmly focused on your next game. Once one's done, you'll analyse it and you get on with your next game. How's your week been, having come off that defeat?
Yeah, really positive. Positive response from the players. We had a meeting, went through the MK goals more than the general play, but real positive feedback from the players. Then just a general conversation about the season overall. Real positive reply from the players, and they went out and trained, and you could see, the messages we give over and that they give us over. They replicated that then in the training session. So really positive. Everyone's still full of confidence, looking forward to the game.
I think the biggest thing that you found from last week is you didn't start off on the front foot. You allowed MK Dons to get in front and dominate that particular area. Is that something that in those talks that you stress to your players, how key it is to be on the front foot and bossing the games? Yeah,
but we didn't necessarily want to be on the front foot. We wanted them to have some of the ball. So, for the first, like I said, the first time this season, it didn't look like what we wanted to produce off the football, which meant we got pulled around a little bit because players, it's down to honesty, Graham, people wanting to work hard, do well, completely and utterly down to honesty. It's, like I say, it's not a regular occurrence that we don't look something like we want to do, and as long as we learn from it, and the players have said that, they give us the message, got to learn from it, take it into the rest of the season, we'll be fine.
Yeah, when you look through it, this is game number 38. You've already had a sequence of defeats, have you, all season, which has been a model of consistency, really. The word consistency is going to come into it now as it really hot. So
yeah, and it's a word I've used regular throughout the season. The ones who achieve the most in this league are the ones who are the most consistent. So if you've got 9 games left, 8 games left, 10 games left, I think one team. I think it's what level of consistency you can show between now and the end of the season. That's the key. It always is the key. And it's also how you can respond from setbacks. And the group have been excellent at that. Good character throughout the group. But it is about the consistency now over the 8 games.
Has it come as no surprise that you've seen slip-ups in those sides in the top 7 or 8?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the business end of the season, and there's a lot of teams vying for the playoffs. There's a small group of us going for automatic promotion as well, as trying to cement our places in the playoffs. Teams, it's really tight at the bottom end of the league as well, so a bit of pressure and excitement, and it's going to happen again throughout the season. The remainder of this little season we've got left, there's going to be some twists and turns yet. I'd be surprised if a team, probably Mansfield, look like they're the most capable of going undefeated till the end of the season. So I won't be surprised if there's more slip-ups throughout the league.
Well, AFC Wimbledon are your next opponents, and like yourselves, they're right in the mix for the honours. It's another one of those big games with the big 3 points at stake. Yeah,
and they've been terrific this season. They've been in and around it throughout the season, similar to us. Energetic team, aggressive team, play some good football. Actually watching them, you know, they're a little bit like us. They've got a bit of everything. They can do all sides of the game particularly well. Missing obviously their set forward through international duty. They obviously lost their main centre forward in January. But no, they're a good team. We're going to have to prepare really well for it and make sure the mistakes that happened last weekend don't happen this weekend.
But again, these are the games that players, managers, staff, fans want to be involved in, and what you've done 37 games previously has got you to where you are.
Absolutely. If you look back to last season, at this stage of the season, we weren't playing for anything. We were trying to implement a little bit more in terms of how we wanted the team to look. So I'm assuming the players would rather be in the position they're in now. I certainly do, where the games are really important, and we've got to meet them head on. And at the end of it, we can't have any regrets that we didn't have a real good go at it. If we drop out the playoffs, if we can put a run together of consistency, that obviously can reap its rewards at the other end.
And just finally, let's mention that the club have put the offer on the 3 home games mini season ticket. That's been taken up. There's been a good numbers involved in that. They play their part again, as you've said many times.
They do, and they've been excellent, really good. Way following's been one of the best in this division this season. A really good vocal at the games, and we do need them. And I keep saying that. Let's make the place noisy. Let's celebrate the players when they're running hard. You know, all that type of stuff, getting blocks, and really get behind the players. Footballers give the ball away. I always say that to them. You need 2 balls if they don't. You know, encourage them to get back on the football, encourage them to attack, encourage them to run hard to get back, and let's do it all together.